Hey guys, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching, and I wanted to do a detailed trade review tonight. And the focus of trade review is process and why process matters as a day trader. Okay, so this is something that I run into a really big challenge when I am coaching individual traders. And this is what that challenge is. They want every single trade in their heart of hearts to be profitable. Now, when we discuss it in a calm, relaxed fashion, like after market hours right now, it's 9 o'clock at night, and I just finished up the charts and I can do the trade review. But when we discuss it in a calm, relaxed fashion, they go, of course I'll take my trades and I'll take them in sequence. And there's no issue with that at all, Simon, is what they tell me. But here's what the reality usually is. The reality is if their first trade's a loser, two things happen. Either they don't take their next sequential trade, and if they do take their next sequential trade, they lower their trade size without a plan, right? It's just an emotional response. Now, some traders have plans. As their P&L goes down through the day, they reduce trade size and they take their trades as planned, right? And that's part of their plan, but that's not what I'm talking about here. For example, my plan simply has I take my trades in full size, and if I hit my max daily stop, I just stop and come back the next day. And I'm going to show, for the way that I trade, why that's important today with the PA. Now, coming in on the day, this is how the day started. This was yesterday. This is the market preview, and I'm going to kind of scan through here. Let's see if I can get a hold of the control here. I'm going to scan through the open, but I can tell you that the plan for the open today was to take 24.6750 long, or to be willing to short the 24.7450 area. It was either this yellow zone or this white zone. That was the plan beforehand. There was zero question about it in my head, and I was completely willing to take it. The stop for me was 2 points behind the back of that 24.6550, and of course, I can tell you ahead of time, it got stopped. What I want to show you is what happened after the trade got stopped. So before I get started, and I tend to forget this, so let me get it done now. Let's see here. Somewhere here we have a foot. There we go. Important legal disclaimer. Basically, this says past performance is not indicative of future results. This is for educational purposes only, and I am not soliciting you to buy, sell, or otherwise do anything with equities, futures, options, and currency trading. What I'm doing is sharing my trade plan and my homework in hopes that it will help you be a better trader. So here we jump in, and let's kind of fast forward to where the market started here a little bit. So let's see where we are on the day here. So this is never fun to fast forward through. There we go. Okay, so the market should be, I'm still going through the preview here. Okay, so the market should be about to open. See if I can jump in. And there we go. So the market's open here, and you can see I'm playing a video back of what I'd done. And remember, my objective is, in this particular case, as we opened today, I apologize. So we opened underneath the 24.6550. We didn't even get up to the yellow zone. So my goal is to either short 24.6550, right, or get long the 24.55 and a quarter, which is sitting down here. So I'm going to fast forward just a bit for you so we can catch up to where the market is. And you can see we never got to the white zone. So this key was out. My plan was to short out of this 24.6550. I never got that opportunity. And we're going to skip forward here as quickly as I can, but while still showing, now here we go. Now, my goal is to take this location here. So two things. Notice, I'm not short. I was willing to short up here. My target would have been the 24.55 and a quarter. Never got it, right? So as the market's coming in here, right, so the first thing I want to explain, number one, when we come into a key location like this, see how it just missed that location? I don't chase. I don't come out of the market. I don't run up after it. I don't go, oh, I missed it, and take it 2 or 3 points out of the location. I wait for my key location. Now, let's fast forward a little bit more, because the point I want to make is coming up here, and we don't have to wait the entire time. So there we go. Let's go back just a little bit. So I'm now long at the top of the zone. My stop's 2 points behind. Now, I want to talk about something. Everyone here is nervous. Why is everyone here nervous? First of all, we have an open drive lower into a key location. But let me tell you something. Support into a key location is always a nerve-wracking thing, right? the win rate for the white zone for the past couple months has been floating right near 90%, right? But the only way I can take advantage of that option, that means there's going to be one, at least one, if it's 80%, there's going to be 2 trades out of every 10. They're going to be randomly distributed where I'm going to have a loss. If I spend all my energy working to avoid that loss, okay, I'm going to miss the majority of my winners is what's going to happen. And then due to the law of random distribution of losses, I can end up taking, by trying to cherry pick, just those trades that are going to lose. Additionally, if I'm sitting here trying to analyze and look at volume, and let me look at how the dome's working, and let me look at all the little things that are there, I'm not saying focus on what my trade plan is, and instead I'm panicking. So instead I'm panicking, trying to figure out every little tick, trying to save this one trade. And I'm going to show, by the time we're done, why that does not matter. Okay, so what we're going to find, we're going to fast forward. I'll tell you right now, I took a loss here. It kind of pushes through, and I'm stopped right here. This is 2 points down. And again, I'm not going to play the video because it would take forever. No one's going to watch it. This whole process took a long time. But now you can see this is a single print area, right? And I said, look for responsive buyers here. It's only a logical location because of the stretch. The green zone is the weakest zone of all the zones we have. So I did not take a trade here. I just have gotten a stop at the white zone. And immediately my first response to this in the room is that I either want to look for responsive sellers at 24.53 1/4, right? Or I want to be a responsive buyer at 24.46 1/4. And the plan is the same on the white zone always. The idea is that we've narrowed down the locations where I have to make a trading decision. I have a very specific plan to execute, i.e. top of the white zone. My target is 2 points. Once I find responsive buyers, to look for rotations up for 2 points, then move the stop to break even, then 4 points, and then see if I can get my trailer to run. Now you can see the green zone worked, but what you're going to see is it eventually got traded through. And I'm not trying, I want to be really clear, I'm not trying to capture every trade. I'm trying to capture specific trade location, right? And remember, I'm already down 2 points. So immediately my responses out of this is that I want to look for responsive sellers out of this 24.53 1/4 to 24.55 1/4. So as it comes up, so remember I'm down 4 points on the day right here, right? And what you're going to see is that as we push up here, move it forward just a drop. We haven't quite gotten there yet. It takes a little bit of time. They kind of bounce it back and forth. There you go. So you can see that right in here, I had a limit sitting right at 24.53, 24.53 1/4. I get filled, and then you can see we roll right down. You can see here that we're trading at 24.51 1/4 right there. That's my target to the downside. Take my scale. In this case, it's a pretty heavy scale, 3/4 of the size, and move the stop on balance to break even, right? So what you can see on this very simple trade is I've recovered of this 4-point stop. I've already recovered almost 2 full points of the 4-point stop. My key location, now I have a choice to make here with my trailer. I can either move my stop to break even, or if I really think we're going to bust through the green zone and get long this 24.46 1/4, then I can plan, and you can see I'm going through there and talking through in the room. That's what that movement is there. You can see that I am trying to explain what I'm looking for. Now, remember, I have 2 choices from this point. I can either cover the whole trade, I can move my stop to net break even, to true break even, right? If I really think we're going to come back and roll around. Now, my proper stop is sitting here at 24.57 1/4. So let's fast forward just a little bit more. So I want to go through this day here, see where we are here. Now, what you'll see is if you moved your stop to break even, and again, that varies on what your trade plan is, right? You'll notice we did not get stopped. It rolls back around. Now I want to watch this here. Move a little bit further through the day. Again, they're trying to push to the very back of the white zone. They're hanging out there. And what you'll see is we've started to roll down, and the 2-point stop never got elected, right? And Amar in the room actually did a very good job of that. He took it all the way back down to 24.46. Let's see if I can carry this forward a little bit. And what you're going to see here is that we finally roll down. We take another second test into the green zone. Comes back for one more. Again, these white zones are really important, right? You can see how it busted here, but provided 1, 2, right? And then finally 3 points of rejection, right? And we are going to roll over one more time. And finally, hopefully, we'll get to the breakdown point. Now, notice we've started to roll down. My location that I'm looking to find responsive buyers again are 24.46 1/4. Now remember, at this point, I'm still down on the day, just slightly more than 2 points. Right now, here's what's changing at this point in the day, and I think it's really important to understand. We're deep in the hole. We're 25 to 30 points down by the time we get to 24.46 1/4. So now I'm changing the way that I'm going to scale my trades. I'm going to scale very lightly at 2 points, and I'm going to try to push my entire trade, as much of it as I can, all the way up to 24.53, because I know we're so far in the hole that statistically it's very low odds that we will go straight down. Now, as it turned out, we closed on the low of the day, but watch what happens here. It's very, very interesting. So we're going to push forward a little bit, and you can see again, no desire to chase out of the zone, right? And remember, these zones, as of now, they're already printed. Now, it looks like you're going to say, well, how could have we gotten filled at 24.46 1/4? And I'm going to pause it here for a second. If you'll go back to time and sales and look, at 24.46 1/4, almost 1,200 contracts went off, if memory serves. A lot of contracts went off there. And I was sitting at 24.46 1/4 from the time I got stopped on this 24.53 1/4. Now let's talk about this for a second. Why was that important? That was important because just like I knew I was going to take the trade here, I knew if this trade busted, I was going to take the backside, what I call my refund trade, on the back end of that trade. And when I got my 2 points here, right, I knew I was already done here. I was going to target this location, 24.46 1/4, for a long, right? And now let's watch what happens here as we move forward a little bit. Okay, so notice from 24.46 1/4 to 24.49 1/4, I already have 2 and 3 points up on the trade, and I'm going to target 24.53 back to the upside. Again, this white zone, I'm trying to trade white zone to white zone, and it's normal. I want to say this. It's normal in the green zone. The reason why the green zones are there is because you'd expect a pause. They're just not very strong zones, right? So I expect them ultimately to get passed through. And you'll see as we push through here. Now, watch. We pushed into the green zone. We come back to test the back of the white zone. We're not done yet, because I promise you it comes all the way back up to 24.53. Remember, my stop is sitting back here, and we're deep in the hole. Hold on one second. Push this all the way through here. And you'll see that we finally push almost all the way back to the stop, right? The stop is sitting right back here at 24.42, right? And we come over here, and you'll see that it finally comes back around. And see if I can make it chase all the way up. There we go. And it doesn't quite get there. So I want to go through this one more time, right? Remember, stopped, back end refund. No trade for me here. Would have worked, but no trade. It's not a location for me. High odds location. Most of the members in the room took the first time in, were able to achieve 2 points from the front of the zone. It was actually right here on this bar where they were able to achieve 2 points, right? And then we made a shift in how we normally trade that zone, and that we knew we were so far in the hole that we want to target this 24.53 1/4 to the upside. And I stopped the recording only because these take so long to process that I paused it and rolled to another recording that's not uploaded yet, but I want to show you. It then proceeded to push. Let's get rid of this here. See if I can. No, we can move this. And then if we go and look, that's a chart for tomorrow. If we go and look at ES, okay, you'll notice that from here, so I want to go through the sequence again, right? We come down, we push into the top of the white zone, push up for 2 points, right? Roll all the way back, 24.42.75. Remember, the stop is 2 points behind the zone. Stop doesn't get elected on the trailers, right? And then we finally push up, and then we finally push to 24.53, white zone to white zone. And then we finally roll all the way. So this is second touch of the white zone. Again, the green zone. Why don't I mess with the green zones? Because they tend to get busted, right? And then you can see that at the end of the day, we push right into the top of the yellow zone and get a 2-point rotation right off the top of the yellow zone at the end of the day. So what is this all about? This is all about staying on point, structured, right? And you can see again in NQ right off the top of the white zone. And again, that's a rotation of almost 10 points from 5,800 to 5,810. Structure, location, calm trading, a checklist, a process checklist that you can follow again and again and again, and understanding stops are going to happen, right? I want to say that again. Stops are going to happen. So the important thing is that we follow process consistently through and through so that when the stop does occur, we can come back, and by the end of the day, we went from being down on the day to either flat, or most of us were up on the day, right? And I can't tell you how incredibly important that is. It's massive. That's all there is to it. Hold on one second here. I've lost recorder, but that's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. I know that it's actually recording. I can see that here. So that's my 2 cents, guys. If you're going to day trade, right, process is everything. Being able to sequentially take your high odds trades, put them into a packaged process. You know that you have an edge at the white zones and the yellow zones. So now you want to package that edge with a formula for entry, exit, stop, right? And again, you don't want to be frantic through the day. You want to be calm. So that's exactly what the zones do. So that was, I think, a fantastic demonstration. Just to quickly touch on some of the other markets that we traded throughout the course of the day. Again, that's today's. Here's Euro, and you can see again the push from top to the white zone gave a small rotation up, breaks underneath, backside test the white zone, push up again to the white zone, rejection down, then finally back above. That white zone became very, very pivotal in Euro today on both sides of the trade. This was the 30-year note, it was all green zones. There was nothing to trade there today, even though they worked. And then CL was beautiful. I want to show you this. Look how pretty this chart was. We tagged 50.22 is the high of the day, 50.21 to 50.32 is the zone. And then we roll right down to 49.06, and you'll see we tagged right to 49.06, rotate all the way back up, almost 35 ticks off the top. Second touch, it breaks, and then my guess is at some point that 49 to 49.06 will get backside tested and probably get an initial rejection from the backside test sometime in the European session would be my guess. Anyways, my name is Simon. I'm with Trade and Perform Coaching. If anyone would like to join us for a session, 5 sessions actually 5-day pass, there's absolutely no charge. We'd love to have you in the room. It's normally $95 a month for CL, ES, NQ, ZB, 6E, and or the Euro, depending on how you call it. And there's a real value added to knowing exactly what you're doing and exactly what process you're going to follow, and having a realistic outlook of high win rate, right, and a method to extract that high win rate so that you can turn it into a consistent, profitable trading stream. So anyways, hope everyone has a wonderful night. Why don't you come join us, man? It's it's a great market, and there's great opportunities to make money in that market, even in August, right? And we have a considerable edge that we're exploiting as a team. It's really, really cool. Anyways, y'all have a great night, guys. I'll see y'all soon.